Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're gonna cover the old circles again, and on this one we're looking at area of a sector. So we're taking a full circle and we're only finding the area of a small portion of that. So let's have a little look at this thing called area. Remember, what is area? And when we look at a circle or any shape, we're looking for the space inside the shape. That is the area. Okay, so nice and simple, all that stuff in the middle of the shape, that's the area, and that's what we're looking for. Now remember also that our answers should be, because it's area, squared, centimeters squared. Okay, that's another thing. But we are going to need our calculators, so make sure that you've got your calculator. It really helps if you've got like a Casio. They're all laid out the same. So when I'm showing you which buttons to use, then it's going to make a lot more sense moving forward. Here we go. Let's have a look at our first example. This one is a nice and simple one. We've got half a circle here, so it's going to be a nice, easy one to start with as an example. Our formula that we're using for the area of a circle is area equals the pi timesing the r squared. The r is the radius, remember, so the radius is half the diameter. The diameter is the full way across, the radius is the halfway across. So you will need to watch out for this, because sometimes they do try and trick you. They might give you the diameter, you need to remember to half that. But on all of these, I think today I've made it nice and simple for you. So let's now take away some of those letters and input the numbers in its place. So we've got area equals pi times 6 squared. Very clearly we've got 6 here as our radius, so it's 6 squared. Remember, we've got to use BIDMAS, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to square that 6. Okay, so 6 times 6 gives us 36. So it's going to be area equals pi times 36. Now, that is actually going to be the area of a full circle, the whole shebang. But we don't want to know that, do we? So we're going to take the full circle's area, which is 36 pi, and we're going to find a portion of that. Now, we're going to basically half it. The way that we do this for all of the questions is we take the degrees that we've got, which on this occasion is 180 degrees, and we put that over 360. So we're going to times 36 pi by 180 over 360. So let's start that now. So 36 pi timesing by 180 over 360. We are halving. If you notice that, if you put that into your calculator, 180 over 360, you'd also notice that it's half. Yeah, it cancels down to a half. But I wanted to do it this way because as we go through, you'll see the connections. Okay, so put that into your calculator. We're going to go 36 shift pi timesing by 180, and then the fraction button over 360, and then we're going to press equals. And what that's going to give us, it's going to give us an amount in pi. It's really important that we write both down. 18 pi, and then to get the normal number with decimals, we'll press the SD button, and that will pump us out an answer of 56.548, so forth and so on. Now we're going to write an answer down, remembering it's going to be centimeters squared. So we'd just write down centimeters squared, and we'd round it to whatever we've been asked to round it to. I always like to round it to 2 decimal places, so it'll be 56.55 centimeters squared. So really important now that you copy this example out so that you can change the numbers as we go along, because the process stays exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the numbers. So pause the video, copy this out really, really well so you can refer back to it as you go through. So let's look at the next example. We've got now a quarter of a circle, and we're not always going to have these perfectly formed quarters, halves, 3/4. So it's important that we know what we're doing. Remember the formula? The formula is area equals pi times r squared. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video now, give this a go, referring back to the first one that I've done, trying to just change the numbers, make it work, put it into your calculator and get an answer. Come back when you think you've got it correct. Okie dokie, let's go for it now. The first thing is we're going to rewrite, but we're going to take away the letters where we can and input the numbers. So we're going to go, area is pi times 6 squared. We know already from our first question that this is actually 36. 6 times 6 is 36. So it's going to be 36 pi. We are now going to take our answer. Remember, that is the full circle. So if I drew out a full circle here, then that would be the area of the full circle. We don't have the full circle. We've got 1/4 of it. So I'm going to literally times that by 1/4, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Remember, I've got 90 degrees here. So therefore, I can take my 90 degrees and I can place it over top of 360. And that is going to give me my answer in pi. So I write that down, don't I? Yeah. What do we have on our calculator? We have the 9 pi. Now, just to go through again, remember we would type 36, shift, pi, timesing by 90, fraction button, 360, and that would equal 9 pi. That, if we press the SD button, will give us an answer of 28.274. And remember, our answer will be centimetres squared, and to 2 decimal places, it'll be 28.27. Again, make sure you've made a good copy of that, because the next couple we're going to go real quick. You're going to do them. I'm just going to go through the answers, and then we're going to have time for the quiz. Okay, so here we go. Copy all of this out. Give it a go. Come back when you think you've got it bang on. Here we go. We're taking away the letters and inputting our numbers. So rather than R, we're going to put 15. So area is pi times 15 squared. Then we square 15. We end up with 225. Now, if you've ended up with 30, you haven't squared it. You've added 15 plus 15. So make sure that you times 15 by itself, not 15 by 2. That's 225 pi, and that's for the full circle. We only want 120 over 360, so that's what we're going to do now there. And let's look at our answers. We've got 75 pi, or 235.619, so forth and so on. To 2 decimal places, that would be 235.62 centimetres and squared. Remember the centimetres squared part. All right, the next one, same thing. Give it a go. Come back and see if you've got it correct. Here we go, everyone. Let's replace some of the letters for the numbers. So we had 60 squared, big number. And that ends up being area equals pi times 3,600. So that gives us 3,600 pi. That's for the full circle. Remember, we do not have the full circle. We've only got 235 degrees out of 360. So we're going to times that by that, and that will give us an answer in pi. Now, just a little word of warning. We're not always going to get these full whole numbers of pi either. Sometimes you might get something a bit weird on your calculator. Just recheck and make sure it's correct. If it's something like, 235 over 9 pi, then that would be the answer, okay? But on these ones, we've got quite nice answers, don't we? We've got 2,350 pi, and that, if we press the SD button, is going to give us 7,382.742, and to 2 decimal places, that would be 0.74. And do not forget the centimetres squared, people. Don't forget the centimetres squared. It is now time for the quiz. The bit that we've all been waiting for, and kind of maybe you have been waiting for it. I always do this as a bit of a joke, but if you get to the quiz, you're almost at the end, which is a good thing. So pause the video, give these a go, come back and look at the answers, and hopefully feel fantastic about your success. Ready or not, here we go. those are your answers there. Hopefully you've got them. Make sure your working's fantastic. Make sure that you draw out the shapes so that when you look back at your book, it makes some sense. And as always, it's been great helping you with your maths today. Go and write a revision card, or hopefully these will be coming available to you electronically. But until next time, it's always a pleasure helping you with your maths today. Fingers crossed you feel you've got a little bit better.